We sit back, relax, it's sober contracts.
What is your name, age, and where are you from?
My name is Brooke S. I'm 26 years old and I'm from Mission Viejo, California.
Right on. And when is your sobriety date?
July 28th of 2018.
Almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Nice. So what brought you around?
I was a very unhappy individual. I was drinking a lot. I could handle it at first. Then it turned out to be blackout drinking and just a Brooke that nobody wanted to be around. I found out that I was pregnant. I don't believe in abortion, but I had everybody in my ears telling me that I wasn't ready to be a mom. I just listened to everybody else. I got the abortion. I went to a psychiatrist. I got a bottle of Xanax. And I started taking them, had the opposite effect on me, started getting crazy. My boyfriend of 4 years told me that he didn't want to be around me anymore. Back then, it was a really tough thing for me. So I swallowed 60 Xanax bars to try to numb that pain. I remember not being able to breathe. I remember those last breaths. So I went to 5150, which is a psychiatric hold. That just means that I am a danger to myself and to others. In that first 5150, I found out I was bipolar type 2. Got on my concoction of medication. A month later, I get out of that 5150. That was a rough month for me. I find out my ex-boyfriend is seeing other people. I showed up at his house, punched the window in, think that people are chasing me because I'm so psychotic. End up on the Rancho Santa Margarita Bridge. Everything in my mind is telling me that I should just fucking jump off and kill myself. So I think I told my ex-boyfriend where I was gonna be, so my brother shows up, takes me down to the floor. Thank God, cops get called on me. I get taken in handcuffs to a hospital. I ended up doing a 5250, which is an extended hold for repeat offenders in 5150. Then after that, I was told that I needed to do an IOP program. So I did the IOP program and let that information go from one ear out the other. I just tried to live my life as normal as I could, stop taking my medication again. I found out alcohol and pills were a great way to numb the pain that I was feeling from that abortion. My friend had a dream and she said, Brooke, you need to take a pregnancy test. We look at the pregnancy test and I'm pregnant. I'm drinking and smoking a little bit of weed. And I was like, do I want to be a mom? Do I want to fuck my kid up? Probably not. I had an old friend that I used to get drunk with. I found out she was sober. I asked her to sponsor me, and that's what kickstarted it. I attended every fucking meeting I could. The first meeting that I went to, you were there. My baby daddy was there. Everybody made me feel like super comfortable. I listened to everybody's shares and I figured out these people are fucking nuts and they make me feel so comfortable. They make me feel like normal. Like whereas other people are like, you're fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. So I did that. I did everything that I could. And I was pregnant and everything was normal. I worked a program and at my 20-week ultrasound, I find out that there's something wrong with my daughter. I went and saw a specialist. We thought that she just had a small chin. And I went into preterm labor with my daughter at 29 weeks pregnant. I was able to hold her in with steroid shots. And then I was in the hospital for 6 weeks. When I was in the delivery room, I didn't think anything there was wrong. I knew that it was an odd situation. There was 25 doctors in the room of all different specialties. When I was having contractions, they couldn't find Keegan's heartbeat. She finally came out and the look on my doctor's face was something that I'd never seen before. I didn't know anything was wrong. I look over at my brother, my mom, and my dad who were in the room with me. All of their faces were just different. And I kept shouting in the room, what's happening? Where's my daughter? What's going on? And nobody addressed me till 3 minutes in, till a doctor came up to me and told me, your daughter's not breathing. She might not make it. If we get her to breathe, then we're gonna rush her over to Chalk Hospital. You're not gonna be able to hold her. You're not gonna be able to say hi to her. We're just gonna run over. So pick somebody that you want to go to the hospital. I picked my dad. They rushed her over to Chalk Hospital to go into surgery and the phone starts ringing in the room and it's one of the doctors that are taking Keegan in for surgery. She flatlined and he told me that she only had a 5% 5% chance to live. She was gonna die, but he'd rather do something than not do anything at all. He gave me options on what surgeries were gonna happen. He gave me A, B, C, D, and I said, I don't give a fuck what you do. You just make sure that my daughter lives. About 30 minutes went by, and it felt like it was a million years that went by, and they called me and told me that she made it through surgery. I'm still in the recovery room, and I'm like, when can I go see her? They offered to give me a pain pill. I said no. I didn't want to meet my daughter high for the first time. My dad met me outside the room. I had never seen my dad cry before. He knelt down to me because I was in a wheelchair, and he said, I don't think you're prepared to see what you're gonna see, and I'll just give you an example. She doesn't have ears. It's not even fucking time to joke around. Like, fuck you. He's like, I'm not joking. Got wheeled into the room. There was 5 doctors watching me. I couldn't even approach the bed because there was doctors all around her. I waited till they walked away. I got to touch her. I was scared shitless of her. I saw that there was like tubes and everything attached to her. Just the mere sight of touching her just felt like I was gonna break her.
I think that feels like that for most parents, though.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You see all these 2020 episodes of parents with Treacher Collins Syndrome's babies, and they're scared. But when I saw Keegan, I never had a hesitation. She was the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. I still feel that way, and I always tear up thinking about that moment. I've never seen anything wrong with Keegan. The days went on. The first night was the worst. Every second of that night, I didn't breathe. Keegan was in the NICU. I just remember telling myself over and over, if she didn't make it through that surgery, like, I was gonna kill myself. The next day, I got wheeled over. I got to go see her, and it felt a little bit more comfortable. But there is something fucking wrong. There was something missing. I just felt uneven. I still felt those feelings, like, I couldn't fucking handle it. I was like, I have to fucking leave. I need to go to a meeting. Like, I just have to. I left that hospital. I cried every fucking minute of leaving that hospital because it felt like my heart was detached, that I was saying bye to my daughter for the last time. After that, I prepared myself. I researched Treacher Collins Syndrome. I felt like I got a fucking medical degree of just researching this shit. And that was like the hardest part of my recovery. It was really hard to handle her medical care and be newly sober and process all of these emotions. Like, I was strong in the aspect of being a mom and doing everything that I needed for her, but I didn't take care of myself. So it was like the 9-month mark. Keegan went to the hospital. She got out, and I just kept replaying, like, I'm gonna relapse in my head. Like, I'm gonna just drink. I'm gonna numb my pain. That's it. I'm taking pills. That was my breaking point. I switched sponsors. I went to every meeting that I possibly could, and I just learned coping skills.
And now you have another kid.
Now I have another kid.
And through COVID, through 2020.
Emma started showing signs before me. She's 9 months old. 2020 was a fucked year for us. Had a planned C-section because I found out a few days before that Keegan was scheduled to have the most major surgery that she will ever have in her life, literally on my due date. So I went in, told my doctor, and he's like, you are having a baby tomorrow. What the fuck? The only reason I could do that was because I was sober. I just clung on to people that I knew I was safe with, who could keep me like even keel. Especially Zach, especially with the girls, and me processing like hormones and having a baby and walking another one through surgery. It was a fucked year.
Talk about a household full of miracles.
I agree. I don't know how Zach lost his son, and I'm not sure how he was able to put his love out there again to a child who in the beginning we didn't know if she was gonna live or die. So, and Ron is just our staple of the household. He keeps everything even. Best grandpa I've ever met in my whole entire life. But yeah, we're a shit show house, but it's a good house.
I want to say you're blessed, but I almost feel like it's like not even that. Like, it's like you guys are the product of just hard work and perseverance, like just surviving and not getting loaded. You know what I mean? It's just so much. What was it like going through all this stuff with bipolar type 2? And have you been able to treat that outside issue effectively?
I think like everybody that's bipolar type 2, they have their moments. They have their like manic states. And I definitely go through those manic states. I have depressive states. It's harder for me. I have to be in the right mindset to leave the house with Keegan. So if I want to take her to a park, she looks different than everybody else. To me, she looks amazing. Mm-hmm. She's like the most beautiful thing I've seen. Being bipolar and having other parents stare at her or having other kids say she looks weird or just say some...
Have you experienced that?
Oh, 100% every single day. And it's difficult, but I know how to cope with it now. Don't drink. Don't use. One day at a time. Every second, just stay sober for your kid. It's difficult, especially dealing with the bullying and advocating for her in every aspect of life.
I used to stick needles in my arm, and legally I can't own a firearm. I can't leave the state or vote for more